Hello, my name is Adam and I'm pre-sales consultant at Stormit. Stormit as an AWS advanced partner can help you make the most of what AWS Cloud has to offer. Today we will take a look on a fairly new function called CloudFront staging deployments. We will explore the seamless process of CloudFront staging distributions, their creation mainly, and ensuring a smooth user experience every time. So what are staging deployments in CloudFront? As said, this is a very new function. You can find it in the created CloudFront distribution, and they involve a creation of separate CloudFront distribution to test and validate updates before pushing them to the production distribution. So you can make some changes into your CloudFront distribution without the need to push it to your customers, basically. This provides a safe environment for your testing, and you can also test it on some weight-based solution. So a couple of your users will go to the new CloudFront distributions and the rest will go to the old CloudFront distribution. This function will always stay behind the same CloudFront distribution domain, so you will not need to change your DNS records or anything like that. You can also use some header-based decisions. So basically, if you are able to do this, you can change the header and get to the new CloudFront distribution. This is the one that we will use today for my demo, the header-based, because weight-based is more for not like demos, but for real customers of CloudFront. And why there is a need for staging deployments. Regular updates and changes to your web application and content are crucial to stay competitive and deliver a very good user experience. This is why AWS decided to create something called staging deployments, so you are able to do this also in the distribution. As you can see here in this diagram, you will get something called staging policy, and behind it there are two versions of your distribution. As said, users will not know this. They will still see also the same domain for CloudFront distribution, so you don't have to change your DNS. And here we have a list what is separated for primary versus staging distribution. I actually think that there is a lot of things here, and I don't remember finding anything that is not in the staging distribution, basically. So you are able to change cache behaviors, origin settings, like you can switch origin, for example, also some custom error responses, geographic restrictions. You can change logging settings, so you will get two logs for your staging distribution and for your current distribution. You can change description, and actually the cache which is in your old CloudFront distribution is not in the staging distribution, so also the caching of CloudFront. And you can also test by these CloudFront functions and also Lambda Edge functions. So let's look into the AWS Management Console for my demo. I already have Route 53 as a DNS with my domain. I already have CloudFront distribution that is used with S3 bucket as a website endpoint, and we also have HTTPS via ACM, which is Amazon Certificate Manager. So we are in the AWS console, and first thing I want to do is to show you what I already have. I have my domain in Route 53. This is something what we will not change, but I want to just show you what I have. If you will be using any other DNS, it doesn't matter. I just want to show you here that I have two records for the same CloudFront distribution. So I have stormit.link and www.stormit.link. We will use this later, and this one is already set it up. So if I hit it, we should get to the first bucket. What I will do is that I will create CloudFront distribution or create CloudFront staging distribution. So what I want to do is to go to my CloudFront distribution here, and as you can see, I already have it with everything set it up, and as you can see, it's working also with the certificate. So I will go to the CloudFront distribution, and here is the new thing, continuous deployment. Right here we can create staging distribution. So I will click on that, and we will create something like, we can just version v1 staging or something like this, so we can see it right in the console, the description. And I will click on next. And what I want to do is to edit the origin here. I don't think you will be able to delete it because there should be always one origin, so I will edit it. And what I want to do is to change the origin domain here, which basically means that I will be changing an origin, but not for the old CloudFront distribution, which is production one, but for the staging distribution, so we can test it first and should be able to say, hey, it's working, let's use it as a production and then deploy it to the production. So I will change this, but first I need the domain. So I will go to S3, where I should have some buckets. As you can see, I have one bucket with which name is with the v1, and I want to change it to the v2. So I will go to properties and copy the HTTP link here for the website deployment, as you can see, and I will go back and change it here. I can remove the HTTP, and yeah, that's it basically what I want to do right now. So I click on save changes, and as you can see, you can also change behavior. There are also some additional settings here. You can change geographic restriction just for the staging. So if you need to test something without interfering with the production CloudFront distribution, it's a good way. I just want to show how. I don't want to show everything here because there is a lot of settings, and it would take a lot of time, so I just want to show how it's done basically. So I will click on next, and what we have here is something called traffic configuration, which basically means what will happen when the user will hit your CloudFront distribution. The domain stays the same, but it can be divided to the distribution you already have and to the new distribution, which is the staging one. Weight-based is a good way how you can just, as you can see, between 0 and 15% of your traffic can go to the staging distribution, but this is not good for my solution because I want to be able to choose which distribution I want to use. So I will use a header based. If you don't know what is a header, it's something what is in HTTP used, and I will show you how to change it, how to create a header by using simple Chrome extension that we will use later. What we need to do, as you can see, header must begin with this words, so I will copy it and put it here, and we can name it like test1, it doesn't really matter, and the value we can use also test1. Okay, and yes, we will enable this traffic configuration. As you can see, you can also disable it right away, but it doesn't make sense at the moment, so I will use it. And we will create a staging distribution. I think it will take some time as normally, because basically, as you can see, it will create a second distribution. I will go back. That is used as a staging. Here is our description that we put there before, and as you can see, both of them are deploying now, and the main thing what is different at the moment is the origin. As you can see, here is a second origin. We can actually open this in a new tab, maybe here, it doesn't matter. And as you can see, we should see that this is version 2 and a second bucket. If you need to do any other changes, how you do it is go to the distribution here, and you do those changes in the distribution. Like here, as you can see, it's basically the same as a normal distribution, but here you can see the note that it is staging. So it's a really good way how to test it out. Actually, one thing that is not working is the domain name, because you will always use the old one, the domain name here, which is like this, and not use the new one. This is one thing that I want to make sure that you understand. Even after this will be deployed, this domain will not work, and you will always need to use this one. So I will wait till it's deployed, and then I will show you more. And after a couple of minutes we can start using the new staging distribution. And how we will do this? I'm using a simple extension to Chrome. I will show which one. It's just very simple for modifying header values. I think you should be able to find anything similar to any other browser. If you are not able, just use Chrome and this modify header value extension for this. So I will go back to my distributions and we will test it out. So I will go to my extension here and open options, and as you can see, we will need a URL. So I will hit again my stormit.link URL and add it here, and user agent or maybe a header name. This is just an example. We will go back to distributions, to my distribution, and here we have the policy. So the header name will be this one, and the value will be this one, which is test1, and this should be enough. I will add this header, and I can also add like this one. So I will choose to add www.stormit.link for the future use. So this one also. And I will try to hit my domain again. So yeah, it should bring me to version 2 plus second bucket. We can remove this one for a couple of seconds and go back and try to refresh it again. And as you can see, it brings me to the first CloudFront distribution, which is the old one, the production. And if I add again the header and refresh it again, it will bring me to the staging distribution. This is how you can test anything else in the distribution. So just simply use the headers and then use it like this. As you can see, you are still using the correct domain, you are using the correct path, so you can test everything in your distribution, in your domain, and everything behind the distribution. It doesn't matter if it's simple S3 bucket behind the distribution, it can be more difficult like EC2 instance with ALBs, etc, etc. It doesn't matter. This is just showing how you can do this via headers. And what we will do next is to test it out a little bit more. If I go back to the distributions, and what I want to do now is to show you another way how to use it, and that's in Lambda, because if you want to deploy normally Lambda Edge, you will have to deploy it to the correct like production distribution, and this could be a problem because how to test it then the Lambda Edge, it can be fairly difficult to do this. And with this function it's simple. You can deploy Lambda Edge function only to the staging distribution and then test it via the headers if it works, what it does, and you don't have to like change anything for your users. So it's pretty useful in this case. So I will go to Lambda, and what I should already have there is my function, which is simple redirect that I want to test in my staging distribution. So I will go to this Lambda redirect function, and as you can see, it redirects via status 301 to www domain. So if anybody uses stormit.link, the naked Apex domain, he will be redirected to www.stormit.link. This can be pretty useful. I don't think there is a much better way how to do this in AWS, so you can use it as well. So what I will need to do is add the trigger, and the source will be CloudFront. And yes, we will want to deploy it to Lambda Edge. We want to use only the staging CloudFront distribution, and it will be for viewer request. If you want to know more about Lambda Edge, I have another video on this topic, so you can watch it if you want. And we will confirm the deployment to Lambda Edge, and that should be all, I think. Yes, so I will deploy it. And yeah, it's configured. I think we will have to wait till the distribution is again deployed. I will go back to my distribution and try to refresh it. And as you can see, the staging distribution is in deploying status. So I will go to distributions and to behaviors. That's where you can find the Lambda Edge function, and it's there. It's viewer request, Lambda Edge. I don't want to save changes. I just wanted to show you where you can find it if you need it. So I will wait again till it's deployed. So my staging distribution is deployed. After a couple of minutes, we can test our Lambda Edge function, but only via the headers. Again, they are still there. As you can see, I have a header for stormit.link, I have a header for www.stormit.link, and I will go to stormit.link first. This should work. Okay, and I will hit enter. And as you can see, we are still redirected to version 2, second bucket. But I want to test it again, so I will remove www with the dot to see if the redirect is working. And as you can see, we are redirected to www.stormit.link. And what I want to show you now is how to deploy this staging environment, this staging CloudFront distribution to the production. If I go to production, CloudFront distribution, I can see that there is a continuous deployment with the staging distribution ID, etc., etc. So I want to promote this distribution. So click on promote here, and as you can see, version 1, promote to production configurations. And yes, we want to confirm everything is working for us. We have new origin. We are using new Lambda Edge function. Everything works. We want to promote it. So yes, we want to confirm and promote the new distribution. Again, I think it's the same as for any update for this. So you will see that it's deploying and it will take some time. As you can see, the origin is already set to the new one. And if I go to the production distribution, to origins, or maybe behavior, I can see that view requests are modified with the Lambda Edge function. And everything was tested in the staging distribution and then only promoted to the production. I will wait till it's modified again. A couple of minutes, our production CloudFront distribution is deployed, so we should be able to access my domain name without the headers. Okay, so I will open my options and delete these headers in the header extension and go to stormit.link again. And as you can see, I am on the www.stormit.link domain and on the version 2 plus second bucket. So this was the deployment of the staging CloudFront distribution to the production one. What you can do now is to you can edit the policy, you can delete also the continuous deployment if you want. I will not do it. Right now everything is done, so we can go back to my presentation. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos about AWS services, subscribe to our channel, or if you want to learn more about other services, visit our website and blog. Links are in the description below. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us.